we had internally, we really wanted to have a cool snake-like motion for one of the characters. I'll give you a minute because it's dynamically animated, but this guy is the epitome of a cool, creepy Zerg. Like, you don't even want to click on it, it's so disgusting. And that's what we strive for, basically. Around and do 360s with him, that actually follows you perfectly. And of course, a lovely environment from part of the campaign. Strong shape, you know, it stands out against everything else in the game with that huge pad on his back and the 8 sacks. And you see the great structure, they burrow and they unleash these little critters called locusts, and they just tear up your bases. So the Terran player's gonna hate them. A new paint job on it, got some flames, and then, I don't know, by the way, it turns into a robot, which is super cool. Again, you can tell me like robots. This guy, again, strong shape, he's got the turret on top. When he transforms, that base transforming. Basically, this is the last thing a Zerg player sees before they GG. Again, we try to get a unique silhouette. We have sharp angles that try and get all the specular highlights in the model. The guys did a great job texturing this one. Here's a group of them, totally decimating some Protoss. And again, these units are all playable on the floor, so I encourage you guys later on to stand in the hopefully short line. He's kind of a cute little guy. What he does basically, he burrows into the ground, and then he pops up his pad on top, and a huge energy shield comes out. Or huge energy shockwave basically just decimates anything. So Zerg players are going to hate this guy. And again, all this animations and everything, and then Flux, we decided, hey, screw it, he's going back to typical Protoss, traditional gold colors. And often that happens during development. We'll switch back and forth, test different things out. Here you can see him totally decimate a whole bunch of mutas. Yeah, I love this guy. Now here's another old development video. This guy back in the day was called the Star Relic, and it's probably about 3 or 4 years ago. And we just wanted something cool. Here's the final model, and again, just get much better. And it's interesting, this guy actually started off with the gold colors at first, and once we switched the Tempest over back to gold, we said, well, we gotta have one Dark Templar new unit in there, so we switched this guy over to silver. And I'd like to say we spent a lot of time thinking about his cool spells. Like, he can put shields on your minerals so you can't mine, so that's gonna be pretty evil. Here we go, the Replicant. This guy's awesome. He'll take any of the monsters in the battlefield and turn into it. So like right here, you can see him stealing the identity of the siege tanks, and he's a permanent siege tank now. So that means the Protoss players can now have any other unit that's on any other race, which is very
that you're going to encounter in the campaign. This was actually modeled as a high poly model and then baked down to layers that you're going to encounter in multiplayer. We made all of our rocks in Heart of the Swarm as high poly structure that you're going to encounter in the campaign. And the effects in this asset actually would not have been possible without the new tech that we got for Heart of the Swarm. So on that note, I'm going to pass it over to Dominic, and he's going to talk about some of the new improvements to the engine.
Another thing we're going to be working on, there's a lot of units in the Zerg race that have snake-like movements. So we built this animation system that will automatically generate all these snake movements. This is something the modders could use if you want to make your own train of Marines or whatever that looks like a snake. We also have rebuilt the physics engine from scratch. So now you can annihilate your enemy in a lot of various ways. In slow-mo, nice. So modders could also use the physics to do whatever they need. If, for example, you want to make a Marine rain spell, it's raining men. So these are just